Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple got engaged at the end of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, but there are indicators that their relationship isn't as great as it appears. Joan, 62, and Chock, 60, have seemed blissfully happy since leaving the show arm in arm, but their relationship appears to have stopped. Joan made her television debut on a separate Bachelor franchise episode. She competed as a contestant on Jerry Turner's season of The Golden Bachelor. The crowd adored the idea of older individuals receiving a second chance at love later in life. Therefore, the concert was a huge success. Joan was cast as the first female star in the Bachelor spin-off after leaving the season early due to a family issue. Joan began the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 by greeting 24 single golden men, including Chock. The two struck it up right away, and Joan even gave Chock her first solo date. They spent the entire season falling in love. In the end, it wasn't unexpected that Joan handed Chock her last rose. He then got down on one knee and presented Joan with a diamond ring, and she accepted his proposal. They exited the show as a blissfully engaged couple, ready for their happy ending. They've been enjoying blending their lives ever since, but there are clues that the relationship may not be as flawless as it appears. Joan was married to Joan Vassos prior to her appearance on Jerry's season of The Golden Bachelor. They were married for 32 years and had 4 children together before his death in 2021. It wasn't long before she consented to appear in Jerry's season, and then quickly moved on to lead her own season. As a widow, she has spent the most of her time on the Bachelor franchise. She may care profoundly about Chock, but her heart still belongs to John. Chock has also lost a significant love in recent years. In 2022, he had to bury Catherine Gorey, his fiancée of 9 years. During their first, The Golden Bachelorette Season 1 solo date, Chock told Joan about the most devastating loss of his life. It wasn't long before he consented to appear on the show, but it seemed like he wasn't prepared. If Joan and Chock are still dealing with loss, it is unclear how their love story will fit into their lives. Bachelorette, but he was recently absent from a major function. Joan shared Instagram photographs and videos from her birthday celebration, and Chock was noticeably absent. Joan's children and grandkids gathered around her to commemorate her 62nd trip around the sun. Joan joked that it was the 33rd anniversary of her 29th birthday, blowing out a 29 candle on one of her 2 birthday cakes. Chock may have been present, but did not appear in the images, although he was most likely missing. This is Joan and Chock's first birthday together, and it's not a good indication that they're already skipping significant milestones. Joan has 4 adult children, and Chock has 2 of his own. Joan and Chock were keen to combine their families after becoming engaged during the Season 1 finale of The Golden Bachelorette. They're both very close to their children, therefore they needed to be involved in the process. Joan hosted Chock and his children for Thanksgiving in Maryland and shared images from the holiday on Instagram. Joan and Chock shared their Christmas images on Instagram, and the Vassos and Chapples appeared to be coming together. Things appeared to be going well when Joan shared an Instagram video of herself and Chock discussing their relationship with their fans. When they talk about bringing their families together, Joan admits it's been a little harder right now. If they don't handle their familial issues, they may never walk down the aisle. Joan and Chock were engaged for several months before disclosing their relationship on the show, which airs long before the conclusion. They had to keep their connection a secret the entire time, which was not easy. Joan's acceptance of Chock's proposal was shocking given her previous statements. Soon after it was announced that Joan would be the Golden Bachelorette, she stated that she had no plans to marry anyone she met on the show. She felt that the time provided during the show was insufficient to get to know someone, and she preferred to take things gently. Joan's trepidation vanished when Chock dropped down on one knee during the Golden Bachelorette rose ceremony. Joan may have been unable to turn down Chock or his ring, but only time will tell if their relationship will continue. Joan and Chock are not the first golden pair to get engaged on the Bachelor spin-off. The first season of The Golden Bachelor concluded with Jerry marrying Theresa Nist, 70. Despite their high hopes, Jerry and Theresa announced the first Golden Bachelor divorce after only 3 months of marriage. The breakdown of Jerry and Theresa's marriage put a lot of strain on Joan and Chock, who didn't want to jeopardize the brand with another divorce. Unlike Jerry and Theresa, Joan and Chock did not marry immediately away after becoming engaged on The Golden Bachelorette. They've both made it clear that they have no intention of rushing into a wedding. They want to get to know each other first and have their families operate together flawlessly. Though Joan and Chock look to be very much in love, they are taking their time and are unlikely to marry anytime soon. Joan and Chock were recently interviewed on the Call It What It Is podcast, where they explored a variety of topics. They recounted their experiences on The Golden Bachelorette Season 1, as well as their current lifestyles and future goals. When asked explicitly about drafting a prenuptial agreement, Joan and Chock admitted that they discuss their finances frequently. Joan and Chock are in their 60s, and while they have great careers, they are approaching the end of their working years. They must secure their financial futures because they cannot work forever. They're both keeping their homes, but they're looking for a new one to live in together. They've been looking for apartments in New York City, where real estate is extremely pricey. The fact that Joan and Chock are already talking about divorce could be a bad indication. Joan and Chock have been spending a lot of time together since they got engaged on the Season 1 finale of The Golden Bachelorette, which may be causing them problems. Joan has always enjoyed doing culinary tutorials for social media, and now that she's with Chock, she has a co-star. Joan recently posted an Instagram video of her and Chock cooking together, which provided insight into their relationship. In the video, Joan and Chock are having fun until Chock plants garlic cloves, and Joan yells at him for doing it incorrectly. Chock was visibly angry by her reprimand, but he quickly laughed it off, and the couple continued with the session. Joan's caption says, "Our first cooking video together." If Joan continues to snap at Chock anytime he doesn't do things her way, their first cooking video together could be their last. Joan and Chock immediately sound like an old fighting couple, which does not bode well. Joan lived in Maryland prior to her appearance on Season 1 of The Golden Bachelor. Chock resided in Kansas before joining the first season of The Golden Bachelorette. After becoming engaged, the young pair revealed that neither of them intended to sell their properties. Instead, they would go back and forth to spend time together. Understandably, neither wants to change their lives for someone they met on a reality TV show. Yet being apart is not conducive to a good relationship. Joan and Chock have begun looking for a place to live together, including apartment hunting in New York City. Their search has revealed no results yet, which is not a good indication. A couple should desire to live together, and Joan and Chock's lack of eagerness to do so is disturbing.